Now we're going to roll over into our 10-minute pre-recorded video I had yesterday with Colin Cantrell of Nexus. And we'll be done with our symposium for the day. So thank you.
And I've got Colin Cantrell of Nexus. This is going to be a pre-recorded video for our Electoral Reform Symposium. We're not doing a live stream this year. We're excited to have this interview about 10, 20 minutes to talk about the blockchain app. And so, Colin of Nexus, welcome. Great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm at the Nonpartisan Reformers Summit. They're all out on the break right now, and I'm like, I got to get this pre-recorded video with you. The Heart of Free and Equal Elections. It'll be at the end of the Electoral Reform Symposium tomorrow. We're recording this the night before. We're going to have speakers talk about vote-at-home system, gerrymandering, multi-winner proportional representation, also electoral reform and the online petitions for ballot initiatives, how in Boulder it will revolutionize democracy, to risk limiting audits, Fair Representation Act, and Alternative Voting Methods Forum. We're going to take all of the information from the symposium with our really great production crew, Adam Monroe, Jared, Brian, all out there with Stony Hill Studios and team, and incorporate this into what is our blockchain voting election assistant app. So Colin, can you tell people about Nexus and your recent launch of Tritium in blockchain?
Yeah, so a little bit of color. Me and Christina have known each other since about 2017. Instantly kind of were drawn to each other, found out that we were focusing on similar things. One of the things that we were looking at the utility of blockchain is actually using the distributed ledger, an immutable data record, in order to create more auditable voting systems. So granted, there's a lot of work to be done on that, because you have an anonymity aspects to take into consideration to prevent votes from being misaligned. But basically, the conversation has been ongoing for a number of years, and a prerequisite to that was having Tritium completed, which Tritium is a protocol upgrade for Nexus. It essentially upgrades a legacy blockchain into a full smart contract processing engine. The processing capabilities of it rivals Ethereum, orders of magnitudes faster. And it also takes into account all of our research and time that we've put into studying the industry and the technology over the past 5 years. So it's kind of the culmination of all of that research and work finally put into a new update. So it's about 92,000 lines of code, fresh code written from the ground up. Performance is pretty significant. I think before, our legacy wallet would synchronize with the network in a matter of 30 days. Now it does it in 17 and a half minutes. So it's huge, massive orders of magnitude performance improvements. And a lot of that is to make blockchain something that's a usable technology so that we can use it for things such as voting. Because right now, Bitcoin only processes 1 to 2 transactions per second. Ethereum maybe about 15. So with that, how should I say it, technological bottleneck, a lot of this capability of the blockchain that we've all seen has not been possible. Because the technology itself can support it. So with the Tritium protocol, we're really excited as another one of our use cases to start to be working on this with Christina's team. And I think we have some other ones that are working on Find My Vote. Is that correct? And a few other ones. They're going to be helping in this. So essentially, we're working on it with the Tritium protocol as a backend, and it's most likely going to be a private network that essentially holds voter information for small voting rounds as we have now, and eventually to becoming something that makes voting more accessible to users and also reduces some of the potentials for fraud, voter fraud we've seen, especially in the last few elections. We've seen a lot of allegations of voting machines not working correctly. If you watch some videos, you try to select for a specific candidate and it would automatically select the other candidate. So being all of that, I think we're at a time when transparency is vastly needed, especially to protect the integrity of our democratic system that our founding fathers founded a couple hundred years ago. So we've kind of aligned on that, me and Christina, and we believe that having a blockchain as kind of the data layer to be holding these votes can actually drastically improve not only the voter turnout, but also the integrity of the votes to make sure that everything is accounted for properly. If we remember the Bush versus Gore election, I mean, there were recounts of recounts, and a lot of that's paper. And so not pointing any fingers or saying that there was any sort of malpractice in that, but we have no visibility into that. We as citizens, and we're the ones casting our votes, and it's supposed to be a bottom-up structure, which essentially appoints the leaders as subservient to the people. And so in order to have that, we need to make sure that we have the highest amount of integrity possible in our voting systems. And we believe blockchain is a very, very promising candidate to being able to help at least put a dent into that dilemma, if we can.
So it's been messaged through free and equal elections and supporters like you that blockchain will transform our electoral system and bring about political transparency. And you're right, next week or so we'll have a call with like-minded individuals and helping with coding and designing and putting this beautiful, what is our version 1.0 of the app. Free and equal elections, in a nutshell, we're known for our presidential debates proposed in 08, 12 with Larry King reaching 1 billion people worldwide, 16 with Ed Asner, 08 with Chris Hedges. And also, we're having our 7th annual. We had it today because it'll be after this interview here in Colorado at the RiNo District, our Electoral Reform Symposium. We have our United We Stand event, and Nexus has been a part of that, sponsored that, part of our tour. In fact, we've had it 5 years in a row, and this year we turned into a 5-stop United We Stand tour. We already have 4 stops locked in for next year. And the plan is that the final stop next year will probably be at Politicon, which was at the Nashville Music Center this year. We'll be presenting through United We Stand our presidential debate and launching the blockchain election system app. So the 1.0 features will include database of every single candidate running for office, Democrats, Republicans, alternative party candidates, independents, candidate details, bio, voting records, debate, archives, campaign contributions, money, and elections, ballot access requirements by jurisdiction, interactive candidate tools. So you can ask people in your community to run for office. We need to have a lot more people running for office. That's coming. Help potential candidates get on the ballot and learn how to run for office yourself. Educational videos, like from the symposium, from really awesome organizations that are part of the symposium, from the voting methods to Represent Us to Head Count and so many more will be incorporated into the app. As well as United We Stand and our debate. Register to vote, like I said, head count, rock the vote, and finally sponsor, support a community section. So to end on that, we aim to level the playing field through free and equal elections, which is really an organization for the people. I hope and plan for it to really go off onto a decentralized platform, open source, and simply being the creator, it's to be handed to the people in the future. But we will level the playing field by providing an informational, educational, empowering, inspiring, decentralized info hub beyond traditional social media, which is not trusted, can't be trusted. We see what's happening with Facebook and Instagram and all the censorship. So
yeah, and I mean, just a part of just on that same type of sentiment too. Part of the equal playing field is not necessarily equal access to being on the ballot, even, but it's equal access to information. Truthful information about each one of the candidates, because as we see with the partisanship, going back and forth and fighting one another, is a lot of times you may get misinformation. So this is also an effort too to be helping provide not only a platform for you to be able to vote, but to be able to get information on the candidates, like she was saying, different funding practices, where they've received funding, different highlights of that specific candidate, so that you can become a more educated voter. Which I think is really important. I mean, a voting system is only as capable as the capability of the people that are voting. So by improving the capability of people by helping educate them, I think is going to be another huge step for having free and equal elections.
Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you. It was really fun working with you and your team. You held one of my favorite events of all time, Nexus at Aspen Institute a couple years ago. You brought in Dr. Ron Paul, and I connected you willingly, lovingly with Dennis Kucinich and Jesse Ventura. It was so cool to see all these guys together in the same room at dinner. You saw that moment where they all came together, and so it was special at Aspen Institute. So we look forward to working with you long-term, free and equal elections, and getting this app up and powered by Nexus, and definitely can't be done without the support of the team that's going to see this video, and the sponsors that are sponsoring the symposium, having sponsored United We Stand like you, and more, and really truly a people-powered movement. Maybe less about money, more about exchange and gifting time is really what I foresee happening in the direction of free and equal elections. So can you let people know where they can learn more about Nexus? What website?
So we have a social media presence. We're Nexus Official on Twitter, Nexus Blockchain on Facebook, and you can find our website at nexus.io. That's nexus.io. And there should be all types of information on that website if you would like to get more involved in the project, or reach out to me at colin@nexus.io, colin@nexus.io.
There you go. For people at the symposium, have a question. We're not live stream this year. We hope to have that next year. Really call in person and everyone and build this out into a weekend event. With more sponsors, we'll be able to do that. And so thanks so much to Frank Atwood and the team for supporting our symposium. I think he's supported 5 years in a row, and we really want to expand it into a really where it can reach the masses and put all this information, even here today, into that blockchain app. So thank you, Colin. And I'll see you out in Arizona soon. Much love, peace to you all, and I'll see you on the United We Stand tour.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, ciao. That's Tobin here.
Oh, see Todd. All right, so, well, there you go. So that is an interview I took yesterday, pre-recorded with Colin Cantrell of Nexus, and talking about the blockchain election assistant app. Very excited to have a call next week with the team to get that rolling. That I really support. I've actually met a few of them on the United We Stand tour. They're like, we want to help build this app, and it's just organically grown by the people. So thank you again, and we hope that you can support our efforts and help take us to the next level. Again, this is a people-powered movement, and we cannot do it without we the people. Article 1, Section 3 of the Illinois Constitution says, all elections shall be free and equal, and boy, one day shall they be free and equal. Thank you.